Hello, beautiful human, and welcome back to Inner Space. I'm Danielle YS. I've spent my career at the intersection of space science, technology, and the deeper questions of what it means to be human. And what I found is that the most uncharted frontier isn't out there, it's in here. Inner space is where we go within. Because in that inner terrain, beneath the accumulated layers of who you've been told to be and what you've been told to want, is the work you can't not do. The thread woven through every chapter, the dream that keeps beckoning you on, your soul signature. Inner space is where we recover it. Let's explore. Welcome back into the depths. Here's a thread from where we left off.
Two of them had passed, and now the third one, and we were the core. So I'm the one left of the original core. I don't think I realized until this moment that I was the only one left of the four of us that brought it forward.
It's craving a new iteration, a recreation.
Yeah, that's the recreation.
Wow.
Wow.
And we dive deeper. What a different approach than everything that exists today, where it's all about making it as easy as possible for people to say yes to joining something, but coming from the other end of the spectrum of this is a commitment to show up every other Friday. If you are choosing to pay attention and to come every other Friday night, this is where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And it feels like that same energy wants to come through in this recreation.
Yeah, that same kind of energy. And in a world where that kind of commitment is fleeting at best, what's coming through is the building the bridge back to yourself in order to make a commitment to be with others in that configuration. I think you have to have a bridge back to yourself first. There is a commitment to the self in order to gather in a wisdom circle. 2.0 version. We went straight to 2.0. 1.0 is build a bridge to yourself. You can do that in a wisdom circle group so that you can step into deeper commitments.
Let me reflect and expand on what's landing. Build a bridge back to yourself is that first introductory offering that you are inviting people into. And it feels like the women's wisdom circle is the direction that you want to go. And I've heard you say in the past, I'm more excited about the group offerings than the one-on-one offerings, because I think you could do that 1.0 version to build that bridge back to yourself in both configurations. Then there's this next tier, next evolution of the women's wisdom circle, which is that 2.0, that make a deeper commitment to the circle and not just to yourself or you showing up in this community. It's to the whole circle. And that's the community that you are building yourself into, that you're an integral part of. What comes through logistically, my logistics brain is turning on, is two paths. One path, jump straight to 2.0. Call in the women who already have a strong foundation for building that bridge back to yourself and who just want to learn it in the way that you are able to teach it, but have the capacity and access to building that bridge so that they can land in the 2.0 container and really commit to it. Path number 2, have both. Start with the 1.0, building that bridge back to yourself as that main thing. And then for those who feel called into the 2.0 circle, can move into the 2.0 from there. What comes up as I say those two?
So I went back to my bridge image. The 1.0 feels like me building the bridge that I need to bring it forward. And the 2.0 feels like I'm on the other side and going deeper because I've built the bridge that I needed that takes me to the next, which is the solid ground on the other side, which becomes the 2.0. So it feels like for me building my bridge, I start with the 1.0. And once I've got my bridge totally secured to the other side and foundational, then the 2.0 is simply what's next. And however many iterations of 1.0, I think that's what forms the 2.0 of the ones that the women that are ready for that continued commitment to self in the presence of others, committing to the whole, and where the whole takes the individuals and the wholeness.
In our conversations in our other podcast, we have talked so much about the collective and how we're moving into a different chapter, a new evolution where collective and community and connection and relationship are the deeper currency and the deeper support system that we are moving into. And with your 2.0 offering, both offerings, and especially with the 2.0 offering, it feels like you are showing up and saying, this is my commitment to that next chapter, that next evolution.
That feels right. I go back to the 1.0 is that's how I make sure that the bridge is clearly there in order to expand beyond my own bridge.
Building your own bridge, and in doing so, modeling how to build that, recording how to build that for your clients, and then having this next landing space for everybody to be in deeper commitment or collective commitment. Ooh, I like that term.
We like that commitment.
Okay, so let's call it in. Start with 1.0. You know that 2.0 is coming. You will know when it's ready or when it is the time to bring it in. For 1.0, what is the timeline of this container? How long does it want to be?
You know, what's interesting is I'm looking at components of trust and relationship and developing embodiment tools, and eventually the bridge back to self gets built. That feels so different than what I was originally thinking about. It's like 1.0 could be the 12th week that I was originally thinking about. And there could be something that it's less time, that maybe it's 6 weeks, bite-sized pieces of what it means to build a bridge to yourself as an intro, and then something that's more a 3-month commitment. I'm going back to what you said a little while ago. Not everybody wants to step into building embodiment tools and being in this deeper relationship to what sources them. And there's a lot more that goes into trust. So it's an intro to see, is this something you want to step into deeper? So there's 1.0, 2.0, 3.0.
I love the idea of having it be an intro to allow people to get their feet wet, because I think this is an area that everyone has some kind of draw to, because I believe that this is the work that we're all here to do. So there's an energetic pull to it. And there's hundreds, thousands of reasons that we don't follow that pull. So to have it be something that is accessible, that is welcoming, that is a shorter commitment to see, let's dip my toe in, let's see if I want to go further, is beautiful. And it might be that the 6 weeks is enough for a being in this lifetime. And it might be that the 6 weeks is enough for a couple of years or a couple of decades, and then they come back to year 5.0. Whatever it's at that point. I love that introduction, and feeling like the women's wisdom circle itself has its own evolutions. I know you were talking about, I don't know what my coaching looks like. I don't know what my privates look like, whether that's private, whether that's group, and kind of feels like we're getting to it.
Yeah, it kind of does. And it also conforms what movement teaching I might choose to do. The one that I'm curious about that is set into motion, go or not go, I'm okay with it, because I'm going to keep looking at, does it fit with me building a bridge? Does it fit with my desire to help others build a bridge back to themselves? I can definitely say this workshop does that. I don't think I do anything out in the world that isn't about helping others build a bridge back to themselves. That's my gig. That's why I'm here, right? I remember mentioning about choice in the chasm. It's coming to me also that choice is, what are the ways that I choose to build my bridge so that others can be a part of building their own bridge? That I'm culturally personally, belief wise, oh, build it and they will come kind of thing, right? We forget to build the bridge of ourselves to them. And I have definitely been more focused on if I offer something to them, then that will mean that I have served well. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I have built my own bridge. And I think that's what building my own bridge is about, serving myself in order to serve others and being more clear about the building bridges. More clarity in that then creates more clarity in the form that has been so formless. I've done some really great pieces of work, some retreats and individual work that I know I've helped people build bridges back to themselves. No doubt. I'm in a new iteration of it, a more conscious, embodied iteration of it instead of the doing of it. I'm in the being of it. And that's my own scaling of my own work of embodiment.
There is so much trust and relationship built into that embodiment in this version.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, accurate.
Yes, yes. This is so good. Yes. And does it feel like the three pillars that you are offering, can we safely say those are relationship, trust, and embodiment?
Yes, those three, but feels like there's one more in there. There's something else that's part of it's either three pillars as 1.0, maybe. I'm just kind of listening here. Three pillars is the 1.0, and then five pillars, because I love five as a monadic sacred geometry number. Five pillars as the 2.0 version or something. Maybe it's like that. I don't know yet.
So at least starting with those three as your pillars for 1.0, because 2.0 lives within you right now. And your signpost that you're hanging on your door for your business is the 1.0 version of this circle.
I love this bridge imagery. It's really interesting. I was exploring in my Pinterest what colors, what things come out to me. And I kept finding myself drawn to sacred symbols and sacred images of the feminine. Those were two that really stand out to me. I was like, I can put 25 of the same thing, another version of it in there. I don't care. I like it. So I find that interesting. Sacred symbols and the sacred feminine, there's something about that.
What is your business called?
What is my business called? I feel like I'm in the chasm. Embodiment is part of it, even though it's been overused. I am about embodiment.
May I offer something that dropped in for me?
Okay.
The Embodied Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can be the name of a program. It doesn't have to be the name of your business.
My superpower of just showing up is my business. And so my name, I even said this when I went to the bank to open up a business account. My business is me. It's who I am. And so to name me, I am an embodied bridger. That's who I am. That's what I do in guiding you to become the embodiment of who you are. I guide you in bridging to your own embodiment. But my business name is me.
So, what is the name of your business, Victoria McMahon?
Victoria McMahon, the embodied bridger. Not quite right. The embodiment geek.
That's cute. I love that. It's so playful.
It is. It is. I am kind of geeky about embodiment.
Where is your website going to live after we bring it into its recreated form?
It's going to live in victoriamcmahon.com. And that's not going to change.
Amazing. I love it. And Embodied Bridger will live within victoriamcmahon.com.
And maybe a little geek in there too, somewhere.
Yes, bridges, the Embodiment Geek. I love it. It will come.
Yeah, embodiment bridges geek. Yeah, it's something fun. Like, why not? Embodiment is not supposed to be totally serious.
No, it's not. And you're not totally serious. And I'm not totally serious.
Right. I can be very serious and very deep and connected. And I can throw a zinger out there.
Exactly. There's a line that came to me from our podcast of the clench is upon us. May the something be with you. What was the line?
May the collapse be with you.
We were laughing so hard when we came to it. And it was like, that playfulness is essential. It's part of this process. It's part of this.
Maybe it was may the clench be with you.
Yeah, the collapse is upon us. May the clench be with you.
Yeah. Like the fullness of that chasm and what's there to build your bridge. Don't be afraid of it.
So good. So good.
I just want to say somatically, my stomach just growled, not out of hunger, but out of when the energy is moving and you'll hear the gurgling or the growling. Oh, yeah. It just let me know. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, let's go. I'm ready.
I'm an embodiment geek.
Yeah, the body is saying it. The body is like, yep, you made it. This is it. Let's go. Oh, yes. So, what are we pulling through our conversation today? Building a bridge back to yourself, trust, embodiment, relationship, your women's wisdom circle 1.0 to start building that bridge back to yourself. 6 weeks, victoriamcmahon.com.
Yep. I've already got a few more slats on my own bridge. I could have a whole bridge to the other side and not really know it yet.
Yeah, we just got to throw some dirt on it.
See what happens. Because truly, I made just the few basic notes and I'm like, okay, there is a form for this. And then it's about seeing the process of each one of those pillars. I feel like I have at least half a bridge. And the other half is flesh it out and pay attention to when your brain is in the chasm going, right? Okay. Yes, I hear you. I'll still keep working on this. Yeah.
Something comes to mind when the brain is in the chasm from the previous episode of Inner Space, talking with Phelan Shiva, where we were talking about how do you know when you're in resonance with that deeper self or that deeper co-creative energy. And she couldn't put words to it. So I said, okay, what's a vocalization? What would it sound like? And she said, in alignment is like, And when we're off that path and we're in the mind, when the mind is in the chasm, it's like, so that's another embodiment thing to pull forth as we move through and you take your steps on the bridge.
I totally could resonate with the be breath kind of thing, buzzing along. And then my other one was, I think it was the dog from the Jetsons.
I love that.
I love dogs.
I have a couple more questions. I would love to ask them. And if it feels like there's a lot more depth that needs to go into it, we can put a pin in it. And the invitation for you is to sit with them and let them simmer as we continue this process of recreating, of expressing. And for anyone who is watching or listening to this podcast episode, if we get into that point where we let it simmer, you will be able to see what the answer is. It's going to be a cliffhanger for a little bit. And then Victoria's website is going to show you what she came to. What is that website again, Victoria?
victoriamcmahon.com.
Amazing. It'll be in the show notes as well. So, question for you. As you think about your Women's Wisdom Circle 1.0 and your big idea of building a bridge back to yourself, learning to build a bridge back to yourself, what is the biggest mistake that your people make that lead them to needing to learn to build the bridge?
Ooh, that is a big question.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to have an answer right now.
Well, I'm swimming in too many possibilities to discern that one that wants to lead the pack, so to speak.
Okay. What is the root cause of them making those mistakes?
Not remembering who they are.
Not remembering who you are. And then the biggest mistake, we'll let that simmer. And you can always find it at victoriamcmahon.com. And then the last question that I have that is a 3-part question because of the pillars you're working with. What is your unique way of teaching trust, relationship, and embodiment?
I might know it, but I just don't want to tell you yet. I want to show you. I want my website to convey who I am as I show up to you. So you're going to have to wait on that one.
I love it. And then I guess I have one more question. Victoria, how do your clients feel when they work with you? What is working with you like?
Past clients that I've worked with have said, I carry a deep capacity to hold them in compassion and deep presence and care. And that means that they can let go of judgment or not knowing and just feel more open and willing to try something that they haven't tried before.
Mm.
That's probably the biggest thing that comes to my mind.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What is the first color that comes to your body?
Okay. The first color that comes to my body is purple. The first color that came to my mind was blue, kind of a turquoisey blue, that rich fullness. There's a lot of variations on it, and I just swim in all of them.
Because we did the body and the mind, what is the first color that comes to your emotions and your soul?
My emotions is kind of a golden yellow, and my soul is this creamy white with sparkles.
Ooh, I love that. Like an iridescence to it. Or does sparkles have color?
They're more like gold flecks, little star flecks.
Oh, so good. I am so excited for this, Victoria.
It's going to be interesting. The bridge I create to others, I co-create. It feels like there are pillars of co-creation. One with you, you're in one pillar of co-creating this. I'm in a pillar of my own attention, and then consciousness itself is pillaring me.
I love that you use the word pillar because there is a part of our universe that is called the pillars of creation, where there's tons and tons of interstellar gas. And because there's so much raw material there, that's where stars are born.
Oh my God, I love your science geeky knowledge. I just feel the movement of energy through and around and encircling the pillars in what you just said. I just feel the embodiment of what I said coming through your science geek awareness. That's so cool.
And that's our relationship.
And that is how we are in relationship with another.
Yeah. Among many other dimensions. Is there anything else that feels like it wants to be named?
I'm full circling moment here because I'm looking at one of my pieces of artwork that's above in front of me. And it is going back to the relationship to the elements, the animals, and the wisdom keepers that are in the unseen world. And I'm looking at grandmother elder and her wisdom animals. I'm going back to that. Make the request to build the bridge. You have to make a request, not just of the seen forces like you supporting me in creating this, but the unseen forces that are working on my behalf to bring it forward too. It's like, yes, always come to us. That's such a component of being in relationship and in embodiment and trusting. Somehow that fits into the 1.0 of me building my bridge.
That's huge, especially for a women's wisdom circle, because so many of us have been taught not to make requests to the point where we don't even know what we want to request.
Yeah.
So relearning, restoring, renewing that capacity.
I want to go to my wisdom circle.
Yeah, me too.
I feel so nourished.
I'm so glad to hear that. What do I feel? I feel delighted. Thank you for being in this container, for being witnessed, being held, being you. This is literally a delight. And I am so excited to see what comes through and how your website gets co-created and your wisdom circle and all the aspects of what Victoria McMahon is here to bring into the world.
And if you want to know more, go to victoriamcmahon.com. Sometime soon, you will see. I'll have a thing, construction under process. I'm building my bridge.
You're building your bridge. And by the point that this episode is published, we will have at least V1 up.
What? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much. This has been an amazing first Soul Signature Extraction interview. And I'm just, again, so excited to see what comes next. And for everyone who is listening, watching, thank you for tuning in. This is, again, Victoria McMahon at victoriamcmahon.com. And we will see you soon. Dear Explorer, thank you for journeying into inner space today. If something in this conversation stirred something in you, like a long forgotten song from childhood, let that be data, because your body knows before your mind does. Subscribe to Inner Space to keep exploring, and if someone came to mind while you were listening, share this episode with them, because we're not meant to navigate these depths alone. I'm Danielle YS, signing off with love from the edge of the unknown.